Alrighty then, welcome back everybody. I'm Cryax and you're watching Season 3 of pyanodon's. Today we're gonna give Vraux $10 million to say this one tongue teaser. I don't know. That's my Mr. Beast impression. Anyway, our Vraux are doing fine now that we switched over the belt. I still think my assertion of what was going on was accurate in terms of the belt was just, ooh, Tufra, nice. The belt was just overloaded on, you know, the front end, and there was no way to solve that. The only way to solve it would have been to add some items on this side, or add another belt that, like, additionally adds more items. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was a way to solve it, given the restraints that we had. And things are working fine now. And you'll note it, you know, again, people were really hating on the mixer not being measured, which I thought was interesting. I explained it multiple times. It doesn't seem like my explanation made people happy. And there's also a possibility I'm wrong and people just disagree with me. But you can see here that, like, the numbers are very close, even though the mixer's still not being measured. And I made it twice as long. This is a really big mixer. And the numbers that we're dumping onto the belt are still pretty dang close. I mean, this one's like exactly on right now. This one's within 30, which is 20%. And this one's within 30, which is, you know, less than 20%. And I think, it is true that, like, well, and also we've still got clumps. So I think it'll, yeah, we still need to declumpify here. Look, there's a huge stretch even without flora. So give it another half hour and it'll probably be even closer. Anyway, all that to say, I just think there's a level of, it's just gonna take some time. Yeah, in fact, the floor is not even declumpified enough to keep that running. So that should fix itself over time. Anyway, all that to say, I do think it's possible. I'm really against the idea that measuring the mixer would have fixed a situation that was not working in the first place. I do think measuring the mixer might make it average out slightly faster. But I don't think it would fix a situation that's not working in the first place. So that's my take on that. I could be wrong. Again, I'm willing to be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, but that's my current understanding. Anyway, we got to stop this guy, and it has 167 products for 0.05%. Wow, we landed right on the median there. 165. So what is this? Tufra Mark II. 160. We'll call it 164. Probably completed one while I was talking. For one. For one, it's just the normal 0.05%. And then let me pop open the stat track here. Wrong browser, one moment. Stat track, binomial distribution, probability of success, 0.005, number of trials, 164, number of successes, 1. And the probability X is less than 1 is 43.95%. So yeah, we were pretty close to the median on that one. No particular bad luck there, which is nice. And now we need to switch you over to this one. And we need lime, biomass, fertilizer, phosphoric acid, and liquid manure. Man, there's so many requirements for that. So we'll remove this belt. And we're gonna have to import all of that. So phosphoric acid and liquid manure are gonna have to come in here. One of them can be there. One of them can be here. That one's already hooked up. Okay, so we'll do liquid manure. And then phosphoric acid. Actually, did I? No, it needs more phosphoric. Shoot. Well. We'll switch it around. That'll be fine. Because this one only requests 10,000 at a time. And we'll change that to phosphoric acid. Wait, what is that? Diethyl dithiophosphoric acid. DDA. Wow. What a name. And then what is this? Oh no, man. Okay. I mean, we're still okay. We're still okay. How's the spoilage looking on stuff? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if the spoilage rate keeps up or not. Because we still don't have meat to cyanic. Once we have meat to cyanic, this will be easy peasy. But we're still just so many researches away from that. That's not happening anytime soon. And we also don't have guts to... Wait, what? Well, something's very wrong here. Oh, I see. Because we're not just consuming guts for no reason. Okay. Well, why don't we add in some additional storage here? Just because this is a long-term buffering solution anyway. What's this? I have no idea why that is like potentially hooked up there. But anyway, that should reduce the overall guts amount, though only for a little bit. It's not gonna fix the problem. I'll change it to 70k and see if it gets to that range. I need some coffee. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh yeah, Yotoi. Yotoi Aloe. Yotoi Aloe. It sounds like I'm speaking another language when I say that. Here. Here's the new area. And... Okay, so what do we still need? We've got the codices. And... the cDNA and good alien samples are on channel 0. So we'll do 5 of that, 2 of that. Do we need planter boxes for all of these? Oh wow, it redirected, by the way. That's really interesting to know. Okay, gotta do this switch to drag it, or I could reconnect the wire again. I don't know which is easier. But either way, I want to have this. Well, no. I mean, I'll leave one there. That could do something. But it won't be doing anything right now, just in case. All right, anyway, so that gets those two. We also need the Yotoi codex, the tree seedling, and the planter box. Okay, I'm just gonna click. I'm just gonna let the bots do the rest. And then, really, we're doing that much construction still, huh? What the? Oh my gosh, it's this stacked dirt. It ruined my construction bots. I really need to be more careful about that. They just can't handle that many items, unfortunately. Alright. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna release more bots unto the world. Let's see, what am I doing? Tags. Where's my auto mall? I do wish we could make tags bigger on the map view. Like change the size of the icon. That would be really handy. Because I want the auto mall to basically be half the size of the block. So it's just really easy to spot no matter what zoom level I'm at. I don't want to have to look for it. Let's see. What am I doing? Oh yeah, more bots. More bots. We'll do 50 more Logi, 50 more Con. And now we're up to 220. Uh-oh. Wait, did those go into network 1? No, 186 construction bots for network 0. And then 50 more. Boop. There we go. And now we're up to 503 construction bots. That's a lot. I still... There is a part of me that wants to have like 5 bots in every RoboPort. How many RoboPorts do you think I have? Let's find out. Okay, so I would need about 4,000 bots to do that. I'm strongly considering it still, eventually. Because that would just improve... I think it would be slightly inefficient in terms of power, obviously, because it ends up with bots moving around. And it would be slightly inefficient in that bots would be spending more time flying somewhere on a task that isn't carrying an item. But they would still have priority on carrying items. So I think overall our bots would be capable of about the same amount of work, but it would make... where's my Yotoi? It would make power usage higher. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, back to this. So I'm just gonna go over there, I think. Ooh, almost got run over by a train there. Krydax got run over by a train deer. Alright. Apparently I need loaders in my personal request here. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this myself. And we do need water. These seedlings are actually on the way. And I assume Varrock cocoons are getting close. We did the math, and it was what, like 30 minutes? Yeah, we're at 818. So that's getting close. And then you... need to request that, and then I'm gonna manually put in the codex stuff. I guess that needs to be on channel 0 or 1. The codex, I think, should be on channel 1. Which means the codex should be requested here, which it is. And then, and not here. And then this guy needs automation science packs, biosamples. And it's not getting automation science packs. So that needs to be channel 1. And then it's providing on channel 1, which goes to there, and then that does that. Okay, perfect. And then this does this only if... And yeah, we'll just change this number whenever we need to, but if everything is less than 1. So It'll stop after the first one. Technically, it'll start the second one, which is kind of annoying. But that's fine. All right, so that's making generic Earth DNA samples up to 1 stack, which we already have, and I'm gonna put those in there. Get things going, and then the Logi packs also need to be on channel 1, and that actually put it on. There's no easy way to do this actually. Like that. Okay. All right, so we're stealing science, doing it right. You're making way too many codexes, but that's fine. I guess we needed some for various reasons. And then I'm going to manually grabify some of this green juice. I guess it's not juice anymore. It's a nondescript weird technology piece is what it is. Which actually got fully backed up, I might say. I might add that it got fully backed up. Alright, chuck that in there. And yeah, how many did we say we needed? Just the 2. So it's pretty chill. Alright, so that takes like 5 minutes. So that's not gonna happen quickly, but then we'll have enough to finish our Yotoi. And then Xiapho should be pretty chill. We do need the fetal serum. Do we need that for anything else? Oh, we need it for a lot of things. Like a surprising amount. Okay. So, glassware, guts, and silver plate in a biofactory. Alright, I mean, we've got artificial blood in places. I don't think... Where is the artificial blood? It's over... Is it with the... Decalin stuff? Isn't that like here? Yeah. Yeah, there's artificial blood. I could do fetal serum here, but is there a point? Is there a specific reason? Because the fetal serum doesn't care about any of these things. Glassware, guts, silver plate is unrelated. So I can kind of make it wherever the heck I want, to be frank. So I might as well make it here because we already have glassware and we already have guts. So we just need silver plate. We just need a silver bullet. Silver plate. 3 stacks. Silver plate to 50. And 2 trains are stuck because I did do this wrong. Yep. Totally aware of that. Phosphoric acid. And this one's stuck because it already has phosphoric and is filtered for phosphoric. We need the liquid man and then ditch that. Okay. Alright, sorry about that, my base, but you just lost some manure. Hopefully you can recover. Never financially recover from this. Alright, we need to disconnect the CO2. Wait, right? Yeah, that was for the other one. And now we need to connect phosphoric. Which is... Wait, what? This one's manure now. Oh, okay. So really, we need this to be here. And then that to be that. And then we can build a new world. Whole new world. Alright, and then that can be deleted. This one can go up. And then the manure. Just do it that way. Okay. Manure's connected. All right, and then we take out the soil manure. We don't need any of this anymore. I don't even need this building anymore. That's what's crazy. This whole thing is just lime, biomass, fertilizer, and the liquids and itself. So it literally will just feed itself. I can't see which inserter's which. That one. There we go. It'll feed itself. So it needs to be a requester chest, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. So it'll request all that, and then we need to deliver lime. Which I don't know if we have yet. I think we didn't make lime yet. We can make it straight from slaked lime. So that would be a good way to not... We talked about doing that like 50 hours ago or more. Probably more. Lead ore is going to be a problem here at some point. I should do a big ore sweep eventually. But yeah, first thing I want to do is set this to be an overflow of slaked lime. And then the next thing I want to do is go back to recipe book, and that was made in evaporators, and it can consume 30 a second, and we make up to 50 a second, so I need 2 evaporators. Consuming that. And this might be a little weird, but I'm actually gonna put it over here. Because it's way easier to get the fluid over here than all the solids. And then I'm just gonna unload the gravel onto that belt. And that'll go into the trasher. And then we'll unload the slaked lime onto this belt, which, can that get loaded in here? Let's see, 1,000 only. I mean, we're not doing batteries here anymore. We're not, I mean, yes. The only thing in here is quartz ore that I'm not making plastic here anymore. I'm not making batteries here anymore. I'm not making circuits here anymore. I'm not making Vrout cocoons here anymore. This is a dinosaur of a train station. So I can certainly slaked lime, or load as much lime in here as I want. I'm gonna do 40 stacks. I assume it stacks to 100. That is correct. Okay. All right, so then we need to connect the fluids. Which I don't really know how this lines up. Where are we? Oh, pretty well actually. We just keep going west. That worked out not too bad. Let's see. Down, down, over. Okay. That should do it. And then, do we have robo construction coverage over that whole zone? We actually don't. There's a gap right here, but we didn't run into it. So why don't we fix that gap while we're thinking about it? Build one right there. Okay. Yeah, our old base is really not doing too much for us anymore. Oh, what happened here? That's not powered. Hey, we made our first Yotoi. Aloe. Hello, how you doing? I'm sorry, it's so fun to say. Sweet. So we need a Yotoi plantation now. Where do we want to do that? I don't know. We've got all kinds of areas ready to go. I could do this area. Sure. This seems like an okay place. Got room to expand Vraux, and I'll do Yotoi on the right side. So I do know we're gonna need another requester chest, probably. That's already at 100 stacks. So yeah, I'll do a new station. And then let's see. I also should, you know, change these all out now since we've made our Yotoi. Unless we have enough for another full one, which we do. Okay. Might as well make more since we have more. But pretty soon we'll be able to do the regular seed reproduction, which is way easier, limestone and sand. And then when do I research this? Oh, not for a long time. Okay. I was like, we could already make that, but we can't. I was about ready to set up tier 2 Yotoi before we even did anything else. Alright, and then the seeds come from the fruit, which we just grow directly from gravel, limestone, and soil. Alright, that's super chill. So we just need a bunch of Yotoi orchards now. I see. Okay. Let's throw a pump in here. Should get this lake lime processing. Weird. How did that get some slaked lime but then overextend? I'm actually legitimately confused by how that happened. It must have it got into the pipeline and then the pipeline. I actually no. I don't know. I can't fully answer that. In fact. Okay, and now we want to, yeah, just delete the requests for both. And trash unrequested on both. Alright, so that's our initial Yotoi. Good, good. I don't want these artificial blood barrels. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those, but I might use them someday. Anyway, make sure Vraux are still running. Okay. The flora is still seeming pretty gappy, but maybe it's improving itself. I think the main reason is because most of the consumption happens on this row and then it gets added and then it barely any. Oh, no flora. Oh, flora doesn't get consumed at all on this whole half. Right. So it's gonna take a while to balance out, is the idea. It will balance out. At least I'm convinced it will. Again, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it'll balance out eventually. It's just gonna take a while because it gets consumed in a wave, and then that means we add more in a wave, but we're adding more on the tail end of the wave we already have. So there's this weird like overconsumption because the buildings are hungry for it because we haven't had any for a while, but then it keeps adding, and so it just, if we were adding the flora further back, like that would space it out better, or if the main flora consumption was further along the line, that would space it out better, but it's kind of really close together. You know, it's weird, but I think it would even help if I put these inserters up here. It would slightly help. But I think we're already okay. I mean, the flora is not spaced perfectly yet, but it's already like starting to get spaced out. You can see there's some even that made it on this side, which is good. Because the whole hope is that we start to fill in this area with flora. So like right here, there's no flora, but the mixer should add flora into that empty space. So I think it's okay. Again, takes time. And in this case, I'm quite certain measuring the mixer wouldn't change anything. Because this is more just an issue of how that consumption works. Because the overloading versus underloading, I don't think is really playing a role here. Because yeah, see, now it's adding flora back in where it wasn't before. But the problem is it's adding a small enough amount that might just get consumed anyway. But then that means we should add more flora. Well, we're not, because we over... You know what? Maybe reading the mixer would be part of this. Now that I look at it. Because we overloaded, it takes a little break before it loads more on. Even as it's getting consumed. Huh. Well, again, I will not argue that reading the mixer might get us to steady state faster, but it just, my gut is telling me it shouldn't matter. Yay, we're making science! It shouldn't matter whether or not you get to steady state. It would only change how quickly you get to steady state. Anyway, I apologize. I've spent way too much of the last 4 episodes talking about that. I feel like you guys are tired of that. I'm tired of it. I want to stop talking about it. Alright, so Yotoi orchards are, oh, they're big boys. Okay, let's whip up our initial Yotoi farm. So I need to make the modules, and I need to make the seeds, and the leaves I'm just gonna make on site because the leaves decay in such a short period of time. So that's the only way we can handle that, unfortunately. Alright, so here's our Yotoi tier 1 option. Let's say we wanted 1 a second. How bad would that? Oh my gosh. 33 modules. Holy wowzers. Okay, we could do 1 a second. That's very doable, actually. Now, the amount of modules I need is going to take quite a long time to get figured out, but we'll get there. And then the fruit, which also decays. Did I know the fruit decays? In 4 minutes? Wow, the fruit just, like, explodes itself. Oh, I thought that said... I thought that was a comma for the briefest moment. And I was like, I need 4,000 to make this much fruit? I was about to flip my lid. Okay, so this actually looks very doable. And the nice thing is there's no spoilables on this part of it. So I can just do... Okay, and I'm gonna... This is tricky because I don't know how much space I'm gonna need for the... train stations. So I'm gonna start here. Okay, and then we've got 3 inputs and 1 output. I don't think I want sushi. I think I just want standard. And we'll do the classic, something like this. And 3 input, 1 output. I mean, tale as old as time here. We can just do this sort of thing. I may need something more like this, though, where we space it out. I'm not really sure yet. Because we need in. Oh, yeah, this isn't gonna work. This one needs to go 1 tile further. Because then we need in, power. Okay, so we've got all the inputs there. We're gonna need another power pole, I presume. These are too big. How big are these? Yeah, 11. I don't think you can do power from one corner to the other. No, not even close. 3 tiles too far. And then we need out. So then the out, we don't need this. We might need... do it that way. Out. And they'll go onto the same side. And the water's hooked up. I don't think we need to do anything else. Okay, so that's the build. Everything's centralized. So that's a chunk of 4. That's a chunk of 8. A chunk of 12. 16. 20. We're not going to be able to fit 24, so we're going to have to settle with 22. Yeah, and I would need 8 tiles. Yeah, that's cutting it too close to the geothermal. Okay, so there's that. That will get going, and the total input is only 2 sand a second, 1.5 limestone, easy requests, plus the seeds, and all that. So then the seeds will go, and they need gravel, limestone, soil. I'll do the soil on site. I could even do the limestone on site. How many soil extractors would we need for this? Yeah, I only need 5 soil extractors. I'll just do that on site. There are times where there's a larger amount of limestone where I just want to ship it on train, but I think here it's easier to just make it. And yeah. Okay, so then for the seeds, do the seeds need water? Well, the fruit needs water. So we'll do the fruit here. Let's see. We are gonna need a little bit of help here. Like that. Alright, so y'all's making the fruit. And the fruit just needs... I think I'm gonna start calling these stone fruit because you make them with stone. This has 3 ingredients and the water. And so that goes in. This ingredient. I gotta be smarter about this because we need space for the power poles. So, ingredient, power pole, ingredient, power pole, and then that should be copyable. Bloop, 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 Bloop. Okay, and then the fruit comes down to a bot nurse here. Let's see, just like this. And just use a mechanical inserter because the rates here are tiny. Go as close as we can. That construction should get us what we need. Power across the front here. Make sure we get some lampage. Along the way. Okay. Got it. And then... Bloop, bloop. Alright. Well, I'm not really done with all that. I've just built them. And then we need the 6 soil extractors. Which I think I'll put along here. Five of those, one of these. Total water for everything can be supplied with 1 doodad, and you're going to be requesting gravel. And sand. Now at 2, but remember these are stacks of 200, so we're talking a stack every 6 minutes. So I think 2 extra stacks is plenty. Maybe we'll do 3 just because we can. And then for sand, same idea, but now we're doing about a stack every minute and a half. So yeah, I mean, we'll just do 30 stacks. Give ourselves some leeway there. And then this is a good spot for extra unloading. And then you're gonna be gravel left, sand right. And then we're gonna need a provider station. For the Yotoi. Now, do we need the Yotoi aloe seeds for anything? Oop. Yotoi. Do those... We do. Okay, so we need to provide the seeds as well. Because they're unspoilable, but the fruit and leaves are not. So we'll provide the seeds as well. That all works. Okay. And then we do water. Oh, wait. What am I doing? That's there. These are all passed through. Okay. And then this, obviously, we need to go on the other side. There are multiple ways to do it. That's how I'm going to do it. And there we go, limestone and soil. And we need the limestone and soil to actually be one of these belts. But then we just need the limestone. But we can do sand and Yotoi on one of them. Nah, we'll just do it this way. Okay, so there's that. Limestone on that belt. And then we need sand and seeds. So the seeds can be here. And the seeds should go to making Yotoi first. And then we will split them off. And then we will side load the sand. Okay, so here comes the sand and gravel. And we need the sand to go right. Side loaded there. Gravel goes across. I'm gonna just add a few undergrounds to make things a little cleaner here. This is Yotoi product. This is seed product. And those go onto this belt, which then gets loaded here. And then we've got the old... Which one's on which side? Let's see. On the right side is the seeds. So that'll go right. Yotoi aloe seeds. Connect you up. Seeds less than, they stack to 100, so 2,500 on the seeds. Yotoi, aloe, we'll do 20, well, are they 50? Probably 50, yeah. Do I want 50 stacks? We'll do 44 stacks. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. This is not a multi-provider. Crap. I should never make anything that's not a multi-provider. I think is my new idea. I like, the only time I don't do multi-providers is when it's like, you know, something like copper ore or something, where it's like, I'm definitely only ever gonna have one type of input here. Gotta do this again now. How long has this episode been going? What are we at? 46 minutes. Wow, time flies when you're having pyanodons. All right. That's good again. All right, I think we're pretty much there. All right. Once the bots finish this, I think it'll be done. Be wrong about that. Been wrong about many things before, in fact. But we should be able to make the first fruit to make the first seeds. Oh, I've screwed this up. You need to do seeds only there. And then leaves are going to spoil into biocrud. And we don't have a trasher yet, so... Super trasher's at the front. I always forget that. I am going to make a super trasher just because I think we might end up trashing some other things here. It's definitely possible. So that's why I'm doing super trasher. And the biocrud will just get loaded in. Like so. You know, I'll just filter leaves plus biocrud, right? And that works because the leaves spoil in 13 minutes. So I'll really be loading leaves into here, but that's fine. All right, I believe we're doing a pretty good job here. How's the mixing looking? Still a pretty big gap here with no flora, but it is getting better, right? I see it's like flora's here, flora's here. It's starting to spread out a little better. I wonder if we can see that reflected in the cocoon rates. No, they've been pretty stable over an hour. I don't think the sushi mixing has really caused any problems. Seems like it's pretty stable, actually. Well, I think this build's good to go. We're gonna need to go jumpstart it. And then we'll work on Zyopho in the next episode, I think. But for now, to the Yotoi we go. And Finally gonna get our acidosis mushrooms, which is gonna be dope. It's a long train ride. No wonder it's taking the bots forever to get here. You're pretty far from the auto mall. Not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Alright, so... is there anything I've missed? Like, we are making... soil, limestone. We already have the gravel and sand arrived, so that's done. We're mainly waiting on all the belts and stuff. And then we'll have the gravel, soil and limestone come in. The water's not hooked up. That's what we haven't done. The water hooked up like that. And then I normally don't use the pass-through of buildings to go to other buildings, but I'm just gonna allow it here. I think it'll be fine. Okay, now these guys are running. Total water is a very small amount, so we should be fine. Wait, no, I have not made a mistake. That scared me. I was like, wait, we're loading gravel twice. But no, that's the sand we're side loading. Or limestone twice, and then gravel's not needed over here. Yeah. But the sand is. Okay. Sand is coming here once we get that belt. Which, yes, I could build manually, but there's something joyous about watching the bots straggle in and get things built. I don't know. There's something fun about it. So, you know, we can be a little patient. This is a Zen garden after all. We're growing fruit and leaves and seeds. Alright, so this one is the first thing we need to run. So we'll give it all the fruit. How long is it gonna take? Its speed is a 4th speed, and it's 100 seconds. So this is gonna take 400 seconds to make 5 fruit. So it's gonna be 800. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Decay time 4 minutes. Oh no. We have to do it like this. Because we need 2 of them to finish around the same time. Otherwise, we won't have enough fruit to trigger 1 crafting of seeds. That's really funny. But then that 1 batch of seeds is enough to make 28 more Yotoi Aloe. So that helps. Things will go a lot faster after that. But yeah, this first batch is going to take a while. So yeah, I think we'll call it an episode here. And in the next one, we'll begin the journey towards Zyhifo, which is important if you're wondering why Zyhifo matter. I don't even know why Yotoi matter, for what it's worth. I know they're related to bedding, and that's about it. Which, bedding matters a lot, so like that alone is a good enough reason. Don't get me wrong. But anyway, Zyhifo renders into a huge amount of arthropod blood. And you need a lot of arthropod blood for, I think it's vanadium pentoxide, which is something you need for chemical science. And it would be way ridiculous to use arcads or zipiers for this. You do get arthropod blood from arcads, but you only get about 13 apiece. Zipiers are 65 apiece, and Zyhifo are 80 apiece. So you might be like, well, Zipier, you know, is basically as good as Zyhifo, but Zyhifos are way easier to make per Zyhifo, I think, than Zipier. We can compare the two, but I'm pretty sure Zyhifo is a lot easier. Again, we'll compare it at some point, maybe in the next episode. But anywhoozy, science is going again, which feels good. The base is, I mean, running pretty smoothly as far as I know. Ooh, power is a little bit of a drain right now. Interesting. It looks like when all the electrolyzers kick on, we have some issue. Like, I feel like that's when a train came to get oxygen. And that spike in electrolyzer power is like, oh, a train just picked up oxygen, and so they're gonna run high for a while, and then they'll dip back down once the oxygen tank's full. That's, I'm gonna say about 90% chance that's what's happening there. And yeah, I mean, we can just keep adding more tidal power plants because our average base usage is going pretty high. That's not untrue, so I'll add 6 more. Get another 30 M dubs here. Let's see. That lined up. I kind of want them to be lined up. Looks nicer that way. There are 3 spaces there, or 4? There's 4 spaces. Something like that. Keep it evenly spaced. Oh! I'm such a dummy. I'm not getting power from any of these right now. That's hilarious. We don't have power connections. We absolutely need power connections here. That should help. Okay, well that'll be a lot of power then, because that's already 72 megawatts I haven't even been tapping into, soon to be 106. Sweet. Okay, well that should help a lot. Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.